All right, welcome to this next video in the series. We're going to get into state the problem in the solution, which is the third step of the door approach framework. I just got off the previous video, which was protection at the door. So you went to the door, you said hi to the people. They either gave you a protection or an objection, to which you had a reply. Now you got to bounce off that objection or concern. Where are you going? Okay. Ultimately, you're going to step 4, but we discussed step 3, which is the problem. So we essentially are shifting the people's focus from I'm here to sell you something, which we never want to do. You might remember me at the door as the no sell zone. We don't ever want to do that. We want to get into the problem so that their mind is focusing on the problem and the solution. So I do my handling of their protection or their concern. They say yes to me. I say, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, there's a couple problems that people are facing out here. Number 1, burglars. Burglars got all the tricks. Number 2, you got home invaders. This is becoming a bigger thing today than ever before. And then, of course, you have fire, electrically based fires. These fires, they smolder in the walls. People don't know they have them. And more importantly, most people's detectors are not monitored, which leaves their family and their pets vulnerable. And lastly, the silent killer, which is carbon monoxide. People don't even know what's happening. Okay. So what I do is I literally will walk around your home. I can either walk around the outside of the home or the inside of the home. And what we do is we do this safety survey. And I look at your home through the eyes of the bad guy, home invader, fire, electrical fire, carbon monoxide. I look at your home through the eyes and through the lens of anything that could hurt your family. And I show you how to stop it in their tracks. Boom, just like that, how to stop them in their tracks. This way, if and when you folks ever do this, hopefully you would at least consider us. Is that good or good? Does this make sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Awesome. Come on outside. Let's do this walk around. And you move to the audit. Okay, so I'm kind of blending these two together, these two steps, because your ultimate goal is to do the audit, not to sell at the door. Everybody in this business and in this industry tries to sell at the door. When you try to sell at the door, what you're saying to the customer is, I am here for me and my agenda. By virtue of that, they're going to push back on you. They're going to push right back on you. So you need to know what your objective is. Your objective is to get through the script. And you can kind of tell, I hope, right now, it's taken me 4 videos to do this. But at the end of the day, the script is going to take you 30 seconds, a minute. It's not going to take you anything. Boom, boom, boom. You're just going to fire it off. As long as you know your lines, you know the objections and how to overcome the protections, then you know how to state the problem. So you get them into a problem mindset instead of somebody's here to sell me. And then from there, you prompt action to the audit. Now, the audit can either be 2 ways. And you're going to gauge this based on receptivity. Nobody teaches this. I'm telling you, nobody teaches this. When I tell you, I have dissected this thing into its finest, smallest pieces, but I didn't just do that myself. I did it with another ADT dealer who's been around the game for 25 years. He's seen everything. So we broke this thing down to a science because we know exactly what you're struggling with. So to get to the audit, we're either going to do an outside or an inside audit. What are we doing? It's going to be one or the other. We're either going to attempt, if they're non-receptive, we're going to try to do the outside audit to get them outside the house. Maybe you're doing it on your own. Maybe you can get them to come with you. If they're receptive, you can go for the inside audit. In other words, you try to get into the house to a comfortable place where you can explain things. In some cases, you might have to make an appointment and come back. It just depends. There's going to be all different scenarios. But like I said earlier, you're going to have scripting. So you're going to know exactly what to do. And then we have weekly classes So we're going to be practicing, drilling, rehearsing this over and over again as you're going through your 90-day sprint. So when you transition from stating the problem and the solution into the audit, basically, you're going to sell them on the audit. That's it. So what we do is we provide a 12-point security and fire and silent killer safety review. This is what we do. This way here, you will know where your home is vulnerable. And if and when you ever do this, hopefully you will consider me. Get that line down to a science. I've been doing that line for 3 decades, and it is powerful beyond powerful. I recently heard a sales trainer refer to it as sell the exit. And I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I've been doing this forever. This way, if and when you ever do it, hopefully you would at least consider us. See, you are doing what we call closing in small increments. You're incrementally moving your way to a presentation where you can literally discover the whole problem, solve the problem, give them a price, and get the deal. But you got to go in small increments, especially at the door today, because these people don't know you. So let me just review. This is the door approach. It is 4 steps. Identify, disarm, acknowledge. Number 1. Number 2, objections, protections. This leads to another framework. So understand, this is a framework, and then you got to learn another framework in the framework. Don't get confused. You really only have 2 frameworks here you're working with. Now, we have other stuff you're going to have to learn, but this at the door is the main thing. If you understand these 4 steps, and you understand when someone's trying to protect themselves, how to handle that, and it's not about you, you can literally turn this career into $250K a year. You're going to have to work for it. It's not going to be handed to you. But if you're willing to do the work, I'm telling you, you can do amazing things with this, and you can build a life of excellence on top of the skill set. This is how I went from commission sales to completely financially independent. It was all built on this skill set. That's why I'm teaching you. You know who you are to me? You're me. You are me back then. So I'm teaching you, training you, giving you the best of what I have, so you, which is me back then, will have it easier than I did. And I was very lucky because I had a great mentor, but you're very lucky as well, not bragging, just stating, we've got this thing down to a science, and we're giving you really, really, really cutting edge, amazing neuroscience backed, tested at the door for 3 decades, trust resistant proof, etc., etc. The last thing I want to share with you is this. You'll notice something about our frameworks and our scripts that are different than anybody else's. I can pick apart anybody. You give me another script, and I will give you a script that is manipulation based and more than likely is a lie. We are not teaching you to lie. We will never teach you to lie. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say, if someone teaches you to lie, quit. Don't work for people or work around people who operate from a standard of deception and manipulation. Because there is something I call the sales boomerang. For those of you who are Eastern-minded, sales karma. Whatever you put out is coming back. It's all coming back to you. So the greatest way to influence anybody on planet Earth is with the truth. So show me, in this 4-step plan, where have we been deceptive? Nowhere. It's the truth. Could I just borrow 30 to 45 seconds to see if you would be open and receptive to hear more about learning about life safety? Would you be open and receptive to that? Step 1, right? Step 2, they say, nah, I'm not interested, right? We give them a rebuttal. We basically handle the concern. Oh, I understand if you're not interested, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And truth be told is, if you're not comfortable, I'm not comfortable. See, notice I say that 28 different ways because I'm just following the framework. I'm agreeing with them, right? That said, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, if you knew for certain that, God forbid, a year from now, 3 years, 5 years from now, something would happen to you and your family, or you'd be compromised, or some bad guy or a fire or the silent killer would come after your family, would it have at least been worth listening? Right? See, I'm sticking up for their life safety and I'm telling them the freaking truth. I'm not the bad guy. The bad guy is what can compromise their family. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? The truth, the truth, the truth, right? Then I state the problem. Do you know how more and more homes are having fires? Electrically based fires that brew in the wall. People aren't even sure what's going on. Next thing you know, the house is engulfed, or their smoke detectors are not monitored, leaving their pets vulnerable when they're not home, or leaving their family vulnerable while they sleep, or the silent killer, carbon monoxide, we don't even know what's happening, or burglars or home invaders. You know how more and more these things are becoming issues for people? Problem. Well, what we do is we stop bad guys in their tracks. Home invaders, we stop them in their tracks. Electrically based fires that are not monitored, pets and family, we protect all that. All that. Carbon monoxide, silent killer, we stop it in its tracks. See, we do all that. So the reason I'm out here today is I'm here to see if you would be open and receptive to a 12-point life safety audit. This is where I look at your home through the eyes of a bad guy, through a home invader, through the silent killer, carbon monoxide, or through a non-monitored smoke detector, electrically based fire. I'm looking at your home through the eyes of all these threats. And then I'm going to shut them down in their tracks. And I'm going to show you how I shut them down in their tracks. And I'll leave you with that information. This way, if and when you ever do it, you'll be like, Mark's my guy. I want to deal with Mark, right? This is how we promote ourselves. Is this making sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Come on, let's do the audit, right? See, what I did is all truth, no lie, because truth is the most powerful way to persuade anybody on planet Earth. But for some reason, when people sell, they feel they have to manipulate, so they come up with these lying scripts, which I can't stand. And they teach salespeople to lie. You know what happens when somebody teaches you to lie? Your body immediately goes weak. See how I'm training here? Hear my voice tone? See my body? It's because I'm congruent. It's because I understand what the problem is. And I truthfully want to solve that problem for people. I would hate to ever see somebody have to go through that, especially if I spoke to them first. You have a professional obligation and mandate to literally do everything in your power to get people protected, because do you know for sure nothing will happen to them when you leave? No, you don't. So they are trying to protect themselves. Protection's at the door. The problem is they're trying to protect themselves from the wrong thing. They think the problem is you. The problem's not you. The problem is the fire. The problem is their smoke detectors that aren't monitored. The problem is the silent killer, carbon monoxide. The problem is the burglar or burglars. The problem is the robbers or home invaders. That's the problem. You are not the problem. You're the solution. So be the solution. Step into the truth. Learn our framework. And you are going to build a master skill just like I did. That will take you from where you are to where you want to be in less time than you ever dreamed possible. Stay with us here. Learn the scripts. Download the protections at the door. Download. Make sure you have the scripts for the door approach. This is the most complex part. The rest of this it's so smooth and easy and fast, it's ridiculous. Actually, there's one part when you get into the close where it might get a little tricky, but it's actually simple. It's very organized. We have it laid out for you very well. Okay? I'll see you on the next video.